Don't expect this radical obedience thing to be easy. The Lord is going to probably allow things to happen that you're going to want to put your hands in, you're going to want to be involved with, you're going to want to put your stamp on it, you're going to want to give your opinion, you're going to want to abandon yourself, you're going to want to break boundaries. Even circumstances or people in your life might have something happen where your boundaries are even tested, and where you normally, because of the circumstance, because it makes sense, it's logical to get involved, to step in, to go against what you just said because it's going to help this other person. But really what it's going to do is reinforce a lack of self-trust, because it's going to be another instance of you abandoning yourself to put someone else's needs in front of your own, and not in like a humble way, not a truly humble way, but in a way where you abandon yourself to rescue someone else. If that is a pattern that you have caught yourself in, found yourself in, experienced in your life over and over, then my friends, you might want to prepare yourself for it to happen if it hasn't happened already. I think that this is going to be a season where God is really going to be testing our hearts to see if we are at a place where we used to struggle with things, or that we used to get tied up in things, or that we used to get bound up in things. Because of what he's bringing, we can't have those be attached to us anymore. So I think that he is really going to allow some things to come up. Today, some pretty heavy stuff happened. Normally, I would have responded, gotten involved, and I wanted to at first, but then I prayed about it and I asked God if I could, and I was told to just put it in his hands, to let it be, and to not get involved. And I really questioned that. I was like, are you sure, Lord? Like, I really feel like this is something that as a friend, as like caring about somebody, like, I need to do something. But the thing is I had just given a boundary very recently about something specific, and in the past, I would have given a boundary, something like this would have happened, it was justifiable to break my own boundary to myself to go and help or rescue a friend of mine or someone that I care about, to help comfort them or give them, like, help them to not feel as just like the uncomfort that they're feeling or pain they're feeling or whatever it is. And when that happened this morning and I prayed about it, I was like, okay. And then, like, after a little while, the Lord started showing me things and was like, this is you rewiring your own brain. Like, this is you rewiring your patterns by not getting involved because I'm telling you not to. Because if you look down the layers of things and see that this is a, again, justifiable situation where I could break my boundary to myself, abandon myself in what I need, in what I'm being asked to do by God, to go and help someone who is hurting, who I care about. I asked God for confirmation on this a little later, because after I sat with him for a while, it started to make more sense. And I was like, I started to see the links. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, I'm not going to abandon myself. Like, I'm not going to put my needs or what I've already said is important or what I say that I'm going to do aside because circumstances happened. It's not my responsibility. Like, me getting involved in certain situations are actually not beneficial. They're actually not helpful. They're actually not loving and kind, because I don't have the answers. And I don't want to give bad advice, and I don't want to give wrong advice and lead someone that I care astray, because really the place that this person needs to go is God, not me, not a person. This is something that God needs to be approached about. And if I put myself in a place that I don't belong, I can actually cause more harm than good. And also, it breaks trust with myself. It actually helps me to reinforce habits in myself that are dysfunctional, which I'm not doing that in my life anymore. I asked him to confirm it in scripture, and he told me to go to Luke. And in Luke, I was already, actually had been reading Luke very recently, and I didn't even think about it, but I went to Luke and I realized, oh, I've already been in this book recently. And he led me to the story where Mary and Martha, where Mary had invited Jesus to the house and was preparing dinner and was like hurrying up and running around and doing all these preparations and everything. And her sister was sitting at Jesus' feet, just listening to him. And she comes and she says, Jesus, don't you care that I'm doing this all on my own? Like, tell her to come help me. And Jesus says to her, you're worried about a lot of things, but really only one thing is important. And your sister is doing the thing that's important right now. And I felt like that was confirming to me, because it's like, in the situation, there are a lot of things that could be worrisome, or that probably are worrisome for this person who it's happening to. But it's really distraction, because the one thing that matters is connecting with Jesus. The one thing that matters is sitting at his feet, no matter the circumstances, guys. No matter what blows up in your life. Circumstances change. Life can be hard, yes, absolutely, but Jesus is the rock. He is the only one that is going to be able to actually help in any situation. And before he took me there, as I was in my kitchen making coffee, because it happened early this morning, the Lord was basically telling me, like, look, don't let this be something that's going to distract you from your day. And it didn't. He just asked me to make a video now to talk about this, I guess, because I asked him, like, what am I even going to talk about? And he's like, I'll tell you what to talk about. But he also brought up the story of Lazarus. When Lazarus passed away, when Lazarus was sick and Jesus got word that he was sick, he didn't come right away. He waited a couple of days. And then Lazarus passed away. And when he got there, Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. And they were like so upset with him of like, if you would have been here, it wouldn't have happened. And like, why did you wait to come? And why didn't you come before? But Jesus had his reasons, because he was doing something in that situation that they didn't understand and they couldn't see. And had the timing been different, had something else happened than what he had planned to do. And so even in the situation in my life today, because it's not directly affecting me, it's directly affecting someone that I love and I care about, but it's not my responsibility to save that person from the situation. It's not even my responsibility to speak into it, because I don't have the right advice. I don't have the right answers. Only the Lord does. And I don't want to, my hands need to be clean in this situation. Because the best thing to help my friend is to let her give it to the Lord. And to stand in agreement in prayer with her. Not even directly communicating with her. Not even touching base. Not even anything. Because God told me, leave it alone. Like, don't put your hands on it. I've given you specific instruction. This is not your situation to manage. This is not your problem to solve. I'm in control here. And by me going and rescuing my friend, that eliminates the push towards the Lord. Because if we step in and keep helping people when we're really not helping them, because really the help comes from the Lord. And if we don't let people go to God and we keep stepping in as their savior, as their rescuer, we're getting in God's way, guys. And I'm so grateful that I listened and I obeyed. And this afternoon, then something else happened. And I'm like, what do I do now? And he's like, nothing. And so I just wanted you to be encouraged that if you are in a place of transition like I am, and you know good things are coming, and you know big things are coming, and God is going to test your heart because you've gone through seasons where you've made mistakes, and maybe he's brought things around again, and you thought it was going to be the time to do it, and like you get into the thing and you make the same mistake, or you make different mistakes, and that thing fizzles away, or it goes away, or you go into another cycle, and But now you feel like the Lord has taught you through consequence, taught you through lessons, taught you through understanding, taught you through insight, wisdom, and knowledge, has healed your heart in certain things, has taken you back through the motions of getting your heart right, getting your mind right, getting the things that are wounded inside of you healed. And you know that certain things are coming around again, but you're gonna possibly see these old things coming up, because it's time for you to finally show yourself and show the Lord that you're ready to move past it, that those things that would normally drag you back into dysfunction, drag you back into over giving, over functioning, abandoning yourself, breaking your own boundaries, like just disappearing for someone else, or people pleasing, or staying small, or whatever it is for you. Be prepared and understand that those things will likely happen if they have not happened already, because the time is here. The time is here. If you are in God's appointed time, the time is now. It is here. It is happening. He is shoring up the details. He is getting things in order. He is getting things aligned for you to be able to see it manifest in your life. So I encourage you today, if this resonates with you at all, take it to the Lord. Get prepared. Stay prepared. Ask Him what you need to do in every situation. Do not lean on your own understanding. Do not react. Do not respond. Do not go off of what your default is. If something happens, you need to pause, take a breath, and ask Him, what do I do right now? What do I do with this? And if He says to not touch it and leave it alone and do nothing, as hard as it might be, and as it might feel like I'm a terrible friend, I'm a terrible no. Remember, even Jesus did not respond right away to certain things. Even Jesus was like, hey, the best thing that you can do right now is not get distracted by everything that needs to be taken care of. This is the most important thing right now, is spending time at my feet. So go spend time at the Lord's feet. I hope this blesses you.